Come on. Nice, slow backswing. That's a great shot. But I feel that I'm not really hitting the ball far enough. Now, does that sound like you? You've been told that you need to slow that backswing down so you've got lots and lots of control. And if you've got that control, that's going to help you hit more good shots. But I'm going to show you in today's video, with some feedback from my swing catalyst, how actually making a quicker backswing is going to help you swing the club better. It's going to help you use the ground much more efficiently and getting you hitting some of the best shots of your life. So I think nowadays golfers are becoming more and more aware that the golf swing starts from the ground up. And if we can use the ground effectively and more efficiently, we can get more speed into the club, more control, and actually hit the ball longer and more accurately. Now, I'm going to hit one shot with a slow backswing, and then I'm going to hit one with a much quicker backswing. I'm then going to show you some video footage and some data from the swing catalyst. But just before I hit the shots, there's 3 ways you use the ground. So you move your pressure side to side, there's a twisting movement, and there's a push movement. Now, we all use all 3. Most golfers have a dominant force, but I'm going to show you how you can increase all 3 of those forces just by quickening your backswing and why that happens. So I'm going to hit one with a very slow backswing. And that's a great strike, but that feels kind of as quick as I can swing with the backswing like that. I'm now going to go a little quicker, not necessarily as fast as I might do later in the video, but I'm going to go a quicker backswing now, see the difference, and show you why this is a must for your golf swing. So again, strike equally good, definitely felt quicker, and the ball's definitely landed a bit further down the range. Now, obviously when you're looking face on there, it'll be noticeable how it was different, but let's dive in now, look at some data, and show you why and how I've generated that extra speed. Okay, so I've got the swing on the left is the slow backswing, and the swing on the right is the quick backswing. Now we can see down here, club head speed 84.5 mile an hour, club speed 87.7 mile an hour. So only a couple of mile an hour quicker, but I've synced the 2 swings up to start at the start of the backswing. And I want to see just how different the timing is in the swing. So we can see there the backswing completed much, much quicker on the right than on the left. And actually, I've already made contact with the golf ball before I've even reached the top of my backswing. And then that is all the way through. Now, to look at how I move the pressure in the ground, we can see both of those at address. I'm actually slightly more right-sided on the slower swing. Wasn't conscious of doing that. But what we see is I move my pressure very quickly into my right foot, and there's a big shift into that right foot with the quicker backswing. You can see the pressure moves to the right on the left-hand swing, but not nearly as much. I stay much more centered. By the time my hands get down to waist height on the quicker swing, I've got 76% of my pressure in my left foot, which is great. All great ball strikers getting at least 70% into that lead leg and really piling on the pressure into the lead foot. And then on the way down with the slower swing, I'm at 70% pressure, so it's still good, and I've still got a great strike. Both of them have got angle of attack down, so my low point's ahead. But we can see just everything seems to be better with the quicker backswing. Okay, so now we look at a bit more detail as to how I'm using the ground. So the top graph here is my side-to-side pressure. This is how much I twist, and this is how much I push. Now, the little black bits are PGA Tour average. So on the slower backswing, there's only my push gets into PGA Tour average, which is fine. But we see, as I start back, the top graph is how much I'm pressing with my right foot to stop me falling that way. So I'm resisting with my right foot. And we can see at the top of my backswing, I then get maximum push off my right foot, 9%. I then move into a little bit of twist, which peaks at 87%. And then my maximum push is at 166, but we can see kind of the club head getting down towards the golf ball. So all in all, that's an okay swing, and I'd be reasonably happy with how I've used the ground there. Now, we see some very different pressures into the ground and how I use the ground simply by swinging back quicker. So as I move, I push off my left foot to get the club moving. I then see much more use of my right foot because the club's moving away from me. It's trying to drag me off balance. My right foot's resisting. I get a much bigger push off my right foot. Get a much bigger twist into the ground. And then the push off my lead leg, the leg straightening, is much, much earlier. So all three of those increase, and the push actually happens a little earlier, which delivers a much higher club head speed and helps me hit the ball further. So like we saw on the graphs there, as I swing the club back, the momentum of the club going that way is trying to drag my body in this direction. So what your body will do is it will naturally resist with that back foot, and it stops me swaying away from the golf ball, and that allows me to turn. Once I get to the top, the club needs to change direction, so I need to put some force onto the golf club. So as the club's going in one direction, I get the pressure going in the opposite direction. The club changes direction. I get that little bit of twist into the ground, and then my lead leg starts to straighten. And actually that's my key power source. But those can be incredibly difficult things to work on. And I know from working with clients, I would never want them thinking about all those things. But it is amazing that if by swinging slower on the way back, because the club's moving slower, you don't need to put as much force into the golf club to get it to change direction. And everything feels kind of in the right places, but maybe just not happening as naturally as I would like it to be. And I think anytime you can make improvements in your golf swing naturally, that's got to be what we're all looking for. So start off with whatever your normal backswing would be. And like I said, I know you'll get told as soon as you hit a bad shot, you're swinging back too quickly. Honestly, it won't be that. If you understand why you're putting a bit more speed into that backswing, you are going to see some massive improvements in the downswing, the strike, the direction, all the things that you work really hard for. So now I'm going to try and be a little quicker on the way back. Straight away, that just feels so much more powerful. The strike feels great. Now, obviously, as you're working through, you might want to just incrementally build some speed in there. But don't be afraid when you're practicing of almost feeling quite exaggerated with how quick you can take that back. Now that probably, for me, felt a little out of control. And yet that was the best strike, the longest shot I've hit so far. I'm not sure straight away I'd be that comfortable going to the golf course like that, but definitely for me, since getting the Swing Catalyst and being able to really understand how I'm using the ground and how I can use it more effectively to improve my golf swing, it's really, really helping me be more consistent and hit much better quality of shots. I want a little push, but again, the strike was good. And it does feel like all the things I've maybe worked on in the past, I could argue maybe because I've worked on them, the body's able to do them a bit more naturally. But it just is much more reactionary because as that mass of the club's putting some strain on the body and force onto the body, we've got to work harder to get that club moving how we want. So again, don't be afraid, stand there, quicken that backswing up, and really start enjoying hitting some great shots. All I would say is if your playing partners think you're swinging back too quickly and you're hitting the best shots ever, don't tell them. Don't tell them to quicken up. Let them keep being nice and slow on the way back. They're going to hit good shots. And the strikes are good. But straight away I can see that's a good 10 yards back. And it just feels athletic, dynamic. And the better you can use the ground, like I said, that side-to-side movement, that little twist and that straightening of the lead leg, if you're increasing all three of those, just by quickening your backswing up, like I said at the start of the video, you're going to start hitting some of the best golf shots of your life. Right then guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have, I would love it if you comment below. And also, if you haven't done so far and you're enjoying my content, click the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. There's another video just there that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.